We all know that Thor is worthy to lift Mjolnir. However, there is a new Marvel Legends scene which is lifting something that looks a hell of a lot like Mjolnir. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Black Winter Marvel Legends figure. It's kind of like an evil Thor, but also kind of not. So let's take a look and see what we think.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
Here is the Black Winter in all his cosmic space scary glory. I don't know what else to call this guy. This thing is a straight up repaint of the Thor that was released on this book not too long ago. Was that the Controller Wave, I want to say? I forget. But this is it's a neat interpretation of the Black Winter, a character who I was honestly surprised to see in Marvel Legends form. We're going to take a closer look at the character. I'm going to pull his hammer out of his hand real quick so we can get in here a little closer. Now, the first thing I want to focus on is the head. It is not the same head as that Thor. That Thor has very calm blonde hair. Of course, this has like windswept black hair, almost kind of going off into like a void. But it does look really cool. This is one of the most unique head sculpts I think I've ever seen on a Marvel Legends figure. And just to kind of spin it around, like it looks cool, and it sends light. It reflects light in a cool way. It looks like it is moving. It looks a little like silky or oily. It kind of does look like it is a living thing. So it's really neat there. The eyes on that head, just that piercing cold blue, looks really, really neat. Going down to the body, all the details from the original figure are here. All the little like armor clasps and the costume detailing is there. They're just done up in black. And while there's no real difference in the black, there's no like real shading on here, because the costume is textured in different ways. You do see how it like kind of looks like it is layered and things like that. So like you have like a smooth part here and a rough part here. It does end up looking quite cool. The shoulder pads look really neat as well, and they do move with the arms. We'll get there later. I love the spiky bracelets, or not bracelets, but armbands. The nicely detailed armor on the arms. Same goes for the other arm as well. Moving down, we do have again the armored legs, the spiky boots, different textures. These are definitely two different shades of black, I want to say there, but different textures of the boots and stuff. It does look very cool. And one of the cooler things is the cape, because while Thor had a nice straight cape, this is like a tattered and torn cape. It does look very cool for this character. In terms of articulation, head's on a ball joint, so there is you can see the joint there, so you can get the head to look forward a little bit, but the head is kind of heavy with all this hair, so it does tend to kind of lean back. I've been getting it pretty good to stay somewhere around there, but of course it moves like you'd expect. The hair kind of gets in the way, like coming down here and off the back, so he can't really turn his head like all the way, but what do you expect? In terms of the arms move all the way around. This armor moves with it. They can come out, and even then the armor doesn't look that bad. We do have full rotation at the bicep. We have single jointed arm, but we do have a joint at the elbow which allows you to rotate as well. So there is that. And of course the hands can move in and out, and they can twist. So looking pretty good. Same with the other hand. This hand, because it's like the hammer holding hand, will go up and down like that, and we'll talk about that more later. At the body, we have this joint at the abs, or not at the abs, at the chest, the chest cut here, but nothing else down here. Going down, there's not much else. Legs can kick out. Even with the skirt pieces here, they don't really inhibit movement. They come out pretty far as well. Full rotation at the thigh. We do have double jointed knees, which look pretty good. Nothing at the boot cut, but we do have ankles that pivot up and down and have ankle rockers on them. So it looks pretty good. In terms of accessories, he does have 2 extra hands, just being 2 fists. Now, if I want him holding Mjolnir, the fists are out. And I kind of tend to feel like this looks like that evil kind of like power hand. So these tend to be the hands I go with, and I will have him holding the hammer in just a moment. But I do want to show off something on the hammer, something that took me a little while to figure out. The hammer is cast in black. It is the same hammer that the other Thor comes with. And I was like, wow, they added all this like cool dark energy effect to it. Like that's nuts. This is a whole separate piece, so you can pop it out. It does take a little bit. Every time I've tried to do it, it fights me. There we go. It comes out. So there is just the hammer. The dark energy effect does look cool, but when you put it back on, you're going to hear a snap. So I'll do that again in case you missed it. It's getting easier now that I've done it a bunch. There you go. So you can keep it on here. Like, it is neat, depending how much room on a display you might have. Maybe you don't want the kind of dark, smoky energy on it. But it also kind of weighs the hammer down a bit. But I'm going to take it off for now. Nothing inscripted on the hammer. This is just, you know, a black hammer. The other one was like a blue hammer, I want to say. We'll get him down in a second so you can see. But, you know, here is the Black Winter holding his hammer, you know, ready to take on Thor or whoever else. Let's get the Thor that this is based off of out so you can see how they stack up together. And here they are standing together, Thor and the Black Winter. This Thor also came with some energy effects, which I currently have on this Thor. But as you can see, kind of decent mirror reflections of each other. Obviously, this one looking a little more evil, especially with his hair and his, like, ready to conquer the world hand. But they look pretty good. Honestly, look, I like the story that this Thor that the Dark Winter comes from. It's a decent Donny Cates Thor story. I feel like a lot of people forgot that this thing exists. This might not be a character you need for your shelf. In fact, I was debating even getting him as well. It's mostly because I wanted the Zabu Build-A-Figure that I got this one and decided to keep it because I do like the Donny Cates story. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not even sure where I'm going to put this character on my shelf. This Thor is hanging out with my Galactus and his heralds because he was Galactus's herald in this costume. I don't know if I'm going to put him with the other cosmic guys, if I'm going to put him on my kind of Thor devoted shelf that I have. I don't really know. I don't know if maybe I'll end up selling him kind of quick. It kind of remains to be seen. Actually, I did get a Red Widow who I already sold from this wave, so you're not going to see a review on that because I got that, sold it, just wanted the Zabu part. So yeah, I'm kind of not sure what I'm doing with the Black Winter. It does look neat, and maybe, you know, you could do an alternate Thor head if you paint the face flesh tone and paint the hair blonde. You could have like Thor's windswept kind of hair. I don't know. Maybe you can find something else to do with this figure. I do like it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad figure, but I don't know how necessary it is for your shelf. Something tells me you might see a lot of this figure, you know, just around, especially for people who didn't feel like they needed to complete the wave for the Build-A-Figure. They might just kind of be like, yeah, here's the Black Winter, and he exists. Like I said, he's not a terrible figure, maybe not the most needed figure. So there are my thoughts on the Black Winter figure. Like I said, it looks cool. It's kind of like a metal figure. I'm not going to lie. This looks like something that could be on like a 80s metal, you know, album cover or something. But it's neat. It's cool. I don't know how necessary you might feel it is for your shelf. Like I said, I'm struggling to find a place for him on mine. Although I do want to find a spot because, like I said, I kind of like this figure. I like this mold. I'm glad they got another use out of it. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the Black Winter. Is he a character you are going to be seeking after? Is he something that you just don't care about? I would love to hear your feedback. And until next time, I've been Dan. You've all been pretty awesome. And I'll see you around. Well, there we go. What did you think of this video? Sound off in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Remember, we are making a push to get to 700 subscribers here on the channel. If we do that before the HasLab Giant Man arrives, I will be giving away the old Toy Biz Giant Man Build-A-Figure that you've seen on my shelf and things like that. So hit subscribe, leave a comment, hit like if you're so inclined, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Come get